Hey, what's going on, you guys? Welcome to 15 Minutes with Dad, where we support connected and power fathers all around the globe. I am your host, Lyric, and this is another episode of the Healing Series. Today, I am healing with a very special person, a mother. How are you? You doing good? She called Lisa in the streets, don't play with her. Right one? Lisa B, don't play with her. We're going to get into a deep conversation surrounded around healing, family, love, and we're going to hear my mother's story for the first time. So a lot of this I'm going to hear for the very first time along with you guys, so you're going to see my very raw reactions. But make sure that you like, subscribe, and share this with anybody you feel would enjoy this video. Let's get into it. Welcome back to 15 Minutes with Dad. I have here my beautiful mom, and we're going to get into some healing. You ready? This your first time?
Yeah.
The first time telling the story to
Yeah.
just like, tell it to the world, really.
You can see the raw.
And the reason why I wanted to bring my mother on, because a part of her healing is also my healing as we work through these generational things that has taken place from her parents, my grandparents, and how it impacted me as well. So her healing is also a part of my healing. And so I thought we'd do it together and have a beautiful conversation about it. Let's do it.
Yeah.
So, let's get started. Let's start from a foundational point. From when I was about. You had me at about 14. Lay out that foundation. Lay out that environment. Okay.
I'm confident in myself. It was early 80s, so it's in fact epidemic. Wow, yeah, got on red on bad. Got our hands on me. Shortly after that, I was ready to review. Boy. It was, for me, I don't know if it was just like a lesson of strength. Because I never, for me, you got normal bags like, well, I was able to survive. But when I look back, I'm like, I really went to that. Well, I really did that power crush somebody else.
Yeah. So that's to clarify for those who aren't of the diaspora, let me explain. There was a period of time back in the 80s, there was crack was thrown, or coke was thrown into black and brown neighborhoods, and essentially the hope was that it was when we were going to have guns and we were going to kill ourselves, get drugged up, kill ourselves, but it backfired on the government as a whole. And there were some people that were users, and then there were some people that were using it to come up in with. And so our family had a split of the two. And so when it comes to, you said, like, grandma was on it and heavily using it, and everything that comes along with someone who's using it was an experience that you grew up in, and you were dealing with that from an early age. Right, because I know you're part of
the child.
And you were the only child.
So I had nobody to share all me. Wait, so a lot of I just suppressed that. I was like, just got through. Just get through.
Yeah, the day-to-day kind of thing.
Yeah, then it became like a lifestyle to where, okay, I gotta make some money.
Yeah.
I got 2 kids now. I'm still not over this job. I gotta make him.
There was people just giving you stuff to do stuff with.
It was people that were teaching me things.
Yeah.
It was, I wouldn't say people give me anything, because at that time, your dad, he was in the streets. I didn't really too much have to do anything once me and your dad got together, because it took care of us, but it was, but once you get into it, jail, but then, and you went to jail, but left me.
And what, how old were you?
this time, I had to be like 16 because I had trained at 16. And he went to the gym a month or two after Drake's born.
So that was like, so by the age of 16, you had 3 children. And you had Tony recalculated. You had 13 and you got turned 14 right after the hours.
Yeah, month after. I had 13 month later, I mean.
And so you got pregnant at 12.
Yeah, man. No. No. It's 12 months.
Oh, you was, I mean, 9 months, 9 holiday, 9 months before that, 3 years into something, I mean.
Skin school and stuff.
I turned 13.
Yeah, doing everything I'm supposed to be.
And Tony's dad is a whole other story. I don't even want to get into that. But
Baby daddy in middle school, I had a baby daddy that was 18 years old already.
a grown man.
Well,
And there was I only have some pieces of stories in my head, so that's why I'm guiding. Give me lay out on that. So essentially, there was drugs, alcohol surrounding your life. You're trying to figure out a way to survive as a teenager and no guidance.
but coming up, honestly, when I was coming up younger, my mom was alcoholic.
Yeah.
My dad was alcoholic.
Yeah.
Grandpa was alcoholic. Grandmother was alcoholic. Like, yeah. It was, everybody was always drinking.
Part of it,
You know,
nobody really.
nobody took the time to really. I had a couple of aunties when I was younger, going through the trauma and the abuse with my mom. Middle school, elementary, all that kind of stuff. I had a couple of aunties that would step in. Okay, well, let them stay with me for a while. But stay with them for a little bit and stay with me. Grandmother, they'll stay with my dad or my mom. My dad's side, it was just like,
Bouncing every year.
yeah. And I don't think nobody, they was giving me a place to stay, but they wasn't giving me the substance.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't stay. I didn't, it was like,
They get
she was a
you.
girl, yeah, she's a girl, she respectable, because through all of it, I was still respectful.
Right.
I'm still respectful, but no, I can't call him a person that ever had a college conversation.
Right. And then to even dive into how that impact, because I've been talking about borderline personality disorder, like all these different terminologies throughout the podcast, and like how mental health, but essentially you felt a sense of abandonment from not being able to be taken care of by the people that birthed you. And that at that age, it could resonate as anything. Like it could resonate as, oh, I'm worthless, or people don't really, I'm not lovable.
And then it's crazy because they didn't do that to me.
What did you do?
It didn't make me feel like that. I paid a lot of attention, and I just immediately learned that you gotta take care of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You
Realization.
okay. Because the people that are supposed to make sure you're okay, they're doing their own lives, and they're not even making sure that they're okay. But around that time, my dad, my dad is always around. My mom was very good work. So he was kind of straight, like I'm still in cabin. I was. So he would come. But it was just, I never had.
Them people to do.
Yeah, me and my son, some people together, all was fighting, they broke his hand, and the fight became unfair, and they wanted to make. Okay,
Yeah.
but it was, I don't think, be honest, and today, these were way that everybody else today that I'm surprised today, they wouldn't be able to.
I don't think so.
They were, yeah, they're not covering the same plug at all.
I realized this over time when you were waiting out for Jess to happen. There's something I had to, I started making all these things. I was like, the reason why, like, the mom that I have today is the mom that I have today because we got all these stars. From all these people that either said they love you or said that they care about you and gave you some. They all wanted something in return from it. And at some point, you became so used to it that it was like, all right, so what you want?
Swap most one.
You know, and what is this?
You can swap most one.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to tell you a story. That's the process that I got in, and I had resentment for you a lot of my life. And it wasn't because of what you did, it was because of you weren't there. And I told Trey something 2 days ago, or yeah, 2 days ago. I told Trey something that like it blew my mind when I said it because I was like, oh crap. He was saying like, man, I don't hear this because I remember stuff by detail always. Like I really did it vividly, and I was like laying out all these different memories of different events that took place. And Trey was like, how? I don't remember happening. Like, he remembers like when he lived with us, when he lived with you. He doesn't remember much of me living with grandma's short, but I told him I was like, you had Liz to comfort you whenever something got bad. If grandma treated you bad, Liz would come for you and support you, make sure nothing happens. But I was like, no one. I didn't have anybody to do it. It was just her. It was just whatever she was able to give me. It was a heap of adults were there. Like the abuse that I would receive from her, it was acceptable. And so the impact of her abuse against me was different than them because they were protected by something like Robert Farron. Hey, look what you do your life. You treat you down, why you treat me these kids like that? But for me, I didn't feel that for a huge part of my life. I don't think I felt it until probably moving back like I used to. And that's not like just saying that you hurt your feelings or anything, but that's the thing that I told you. I was like, I was impacted so much from her because I didn't have anybody. Except CPS. When the teacher would call CPS, and now we're more trouble when teachers call CPS and we're seeing one system. Who's that? But let's get back. So make the connection with how the atmosphere that you grew up in and connecting me to like.
Oh, I forgot. It's like my dad.
Oh yeah.
I was inside. Oh my God. My daddy. So before you been here, your daddy gave you.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm like, that's your baby daddy.
You're right, that's true.
Why you mad at me?
And that's why like everything that she parented from her childhood. And I love her mom with her, but she was perfect in my life. Even though I went through all the way until she passed, the year or two after she passed, she was absolutely perfect. But it was hard so much else to rent to all the different people that interacted with her in the early years before I came around. And I started really learning on who she was. That's what kind of sent me on the journey of, this was
She was a boy girl with me. When I seen her when she came through, jump out the pool, she be dancing, she be loud, she just jamming. I'd be so happy, but I know this woman's here. She gonna be able to take me to the movies, take me to James Goody Island and to the Metropolitan there in downtown. And she's got her clothes tailor-made, and she's the model and stuff, right? So she got her clothes tailor-made, so we go to the tailor. I'm sitting there while she got her clothes tailor-made, like, that brown lantern, brought me back out there by my house. So it was just moments and then the different relationships that I had to go with her, with them, the different relationships, whatever. It triggered on me because it's a lot of things that I've seen that I've looked at, I've read to report now that I've been realized like I've been the same thing. It is normal for me. And all the women around in different houses, he was over here, went to the state room. I'm so tired of moving. I mean, like, just move me out the place. It's damn shit moving.
Oh my gosh. Every year.
But for me, it was about, it never bothered me because that's all I could do. I went to over 50 elementaries.
I knew it was crazy when I was involved when she was in 8th grade. I knew that's when I stopped moving and stopped doing the movement. I stayed in Vegas. Because in 9th grade I went to Fort in high school. It was because it was because I was the one grandma and I moved with you and then I moved to that school and then you moved and that place. So it was all that. But let's dive deeper into it because I know you've been hurt of. And what is like one of the most traumatic experiences that you believe that or that you've had in your life? And I know it's quite a bit because you've had whether the most memorable or most impactful part of trauma that you experienced.
I can remember the first major. There's two really traumatic things because it set me inspired in some type of way. My mom, after my dad, her second husband, him raping me and doing all that kind of stuff to me. And it was hurtful that I never seen her to jail for it. I never seen her.
Did she stay with him?
For a little bit, till she got away from me. Because I think she was scared as well. Oh, but my mom told they came and got me. It was like 4 or 5. We had to jump gates. We was jumping. Because my girl actually lived like 2 streets over, or 1 street over from where we stayed with him and his mom. And I remember my mom used to come to get me, man, run to come to get me, jumping gates, and we want to get her. They wouldn't leave me down there. My mom would work, she was working, and he would keep. And so I never got over it. I never got over it. I never saved my girls around my mom, her guy friends, or meetings or nothing. Remember, I used to be like, I'm not spending the night. Oh, they can't spend the night. Oh, they ain't spending the night. Because I always felt like you didn't even protect me.
Yeah.
Let this happen to my two.
Yeah.
You didn't protect me. And I held it against my mom for a while. I never got over it.
I know. I remember y'all fighting. I remember y'all when we first moved back to Amidst, and there was like a big brawl.
That's what I wanted to talk to her. I wanted to tell her about how her actions and how she lived her life with me impacted me. And she didn't want to talk about it.
So you never got to have this kind of conversation.
And I cried about it. Maybe, I don't know, was it bad shit? I felt bad because I was never able to, like you sit back and you kind of and you think, okay, this will call it. I never thought about my grandma. She was a boy girl too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So my mom was giving me, I don't know what she into.
Yeah.
She wasn't taught it. It was a lot of, and she said, oh, it was girl. So she wasn't given the tools and nothing against me. And I was so hurt that I never got a chance to think about it. Where was she at like at that time on what was making her, what was going on with her. And I never got a chance to do that conversation because I saw so sick because I wanted to forgive me.
Yeah. I think she had a hard time accepting or taking accountability for things. And I'm saying this from personal experience, like that because she didn't protect Tony Horton while living with him. And so I know for a fact that she received information of like times that
The mental thing.
yeah, events that happened to Tony, and she got mad, angry at Tony, and infuriated at Tony, and screaming at her profusely about what occurred. And I don't think that you would have gotten what you needed, especially if this was like way after that time, that fight. This is way after. So even at the age of 53, I think she was 53 or 52, the Tony, she got information about her. She read Tony's diary or something, and she called Tony and screamed at him, cursed at him, and fighting all sorts of names. So I know you probably would have gotten everything you thought you would have gotten, but it was a very intense fight.
Because I was like, I need to talk. I need to talk. We need to talk. Sharing. Get a house right.
Yep.
Get a house right. I said, Mama, I'm not leaving that stuff. And then she walked back. And then when Big Roll came back, I knew it was time to go. She didn't buy.
Yep.
She didn't feel sorry. She pushed me downstairs. Remember, she pushed me downstairs.
It was crazy, you know. And I felt that at that time, I think that you were really wanting to run on that reconciliation because we lived, right? Yeah. We really lived freedom. So that was a great time for reconciliation. But again, I think her trauma thrill is way deeper than we did. I think she was wanting to do this for a very long time. Now that I'm looking back and her life choices when I was with her, she was definitely running for degrees. So let's go a little bit further. So we brought up, like, when I was born, your childhood, your earliest childhood, You said it was 2 moments. What was the 7?
Sick. When I was in school, and then school sleep. As you know, about me, my attorney dad was how he regular. And I was told by an ex-boyfriend that Tony Daniel and give him a lot more movies to all things while in school, whatever. But he still while he was in him, he was seeing everybody how mom was, faking. And I was in school when he told it to me. And I just broke down. I left school walking. I walked to him and got home. And my mom is way open as a curtains. We're more horrible than she does. Yeah. Curtains blowing, house still down. It's been blowing in the corners. There's a sheet on the bed on the floor, and baby in. And I just looked down. And at this point, Taunt wasn't at the top of you. 7 months, 6 to 9 months, she was maybe heroic. And I just passed the look, and I remember mom being like peers, and she stayed in there, whatever. So I ran in out of here, and the kid one stays in bed. And I stopped talking. Immediately, and it was shocking. Like, so I came out, and I walked straight out the door when I got to the parking lot of the office. Somehow my mom ended up at the top of some guy. She was messing with in the parking lot. And I wanted that I was like, because at this point I scared. Okay, I don't think I've done this too.
I don't think so.
So I walk and I'm telling them like, I'm trying to say what's going on. So she called him and they took me to the hospital, falling stone down. And then they asked me while I was in bed. They asked me, were you trying to kill yourself? He mad at me, whatever was the next. I was like, yeah. And they was like, what's wrong? What happened? He tripped over in front of me. I looked up quickly. He said, next. I said, oh, mommy, my daughter's boy. It's you. They didn't see him.
Yeah.
And it was like, a lot of this is that
told
it's one, like a bunch of different events, and I'm thinking back and I'm like, I'm sure did.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I never thought that, but she did do this. It was like, I would start cracking my head. But they put me in analytic psychiatry. 12 books, analytic psychiatry.
It won't over to
Yep. Yep. So I get in there, and they wouldn't let my mom visit me because they do. That was what made me try to get suicide. And they wouldn't let. It was only my dad could come, and my grandma or my mom could come. Tony couldn't come. So they didn't know that. So when my grandmother came and they brought Tony up there to see me, and as I'm coming through the hall, they grabbed him. I'm like, oh, they pushed back. I'm like, what? So I'm freaking out. I'm throwing chairs now. Y'all believe to see my baby.
Yeah.
So I'm there throwing chairs down the hall.
Yeah.
They put me in the roll in the little
roll.
They hit me with the fence and the cord out. I calmed down from there. I didn't get to see nobody. I got to see her, but I didn't get to hold her. Like, that's what kind of freaked me out because they started deporting us. So I'm starting to hit people chairs. So I'm like, nah, so now they think I'm crazy for real. Well, I don't want people to hold my baby.
Yep.
You know? And after that, they had a little events in there for the people that's in there. And I had talked to my dad. I was able to talk to my dad on the phone and say, what are you doing? I said, I told him, you start praying that. He was strong then. He said, fuck them, fuck him, fuck her. That's just what he said. He said, you stronger than that. Ain't no way. He said, you don't ever think about it. We're taking it. He was on the phone talking to me, and he told me how to get out of there. He said, you tell them people, you want outpatient. Kid. There's nobody else but to tell me that. And then I'm stuck in there at his house.
Right.
So he was like, you tell me. So I played my way out the crazy house.
So you were 14 at this time?
Yeah.
In middle school?
Yeah.
if I'm putting the pieces together, you had somebody who was abusive to you, right? Because even though he was your boyfriend, you claimed him as your boyfriend, he was abusive.
Oh, he was definitely abusive.
Right. And what's funny is, so yesterday, the other day, I talked to my dad and I, and we were like going through a time we had to stop because he had his perspective on it. And I was like, so let's like to be you 100% completely. And we got into all the way into the recent time of how Tony is like, Tony dad. He has a pattern. And the pattern was mom, daughter. And that's literally like his pattern throughout his entire
Tony dad, yeah.
Yeah, through his entire life, all the way to his demise today. And it was, I'm just saying this, you're not going to
My baby daddy.
Nah, he don't he don't believe me. But he has a vicious pattern that started, he didn't know it started with you. But it is the starting point of, not a starting point, but a catalyst of the trauma that exists in our family and the separation that we had, the starting with this thing. And it didn't hit me until we went through this lineage and they started, oh, he did this and he got this person, he did this to this person, and even this person came out of this, and I have the information I had about it. Like, but do you have a pattern? Nobody's ever talking. Cold is not enough. But I'm like, that's when I'm like, it made it very heavy on me yesterday that I was like, this man had a catalytic effect on our family dynamic. With whether it's him and drugs, him and his taste for kids, and having the mother and the daughter dynamic and trying to separate them and keep like all this. And so that's the pattern I connected. I wanted to bring it up to you to see what you thought about that. Am I true? Am I right with it? Or is it?
Yeah, I did him.
Okay.
Did him. Yeah, I don't know. And I think he does that because you can't control where it won't be.
Yeah.
So he would prefer he'll get the mom and then he'll get him to the door. But it is like using different things and different methods to keep close to them.
Where?
At least they without her being like she's sexing with her mom, so she feeling herself. It's different stuff, and that's how we get to those girls. I feel bad because I guess I'm the first one.
Yeah.
So, but proof I am. I'm concerned when I was with Tony's dad. I'm like, I'm pretty dominant boy, he's older, you know. I'm feeling myself, I'm being, want me attention. That's with you with work, because it sounded like I said, it was crackhead when it was longer than half. All that. I feel like my mom should have stopped there.
Yeah.
But instead she didn't know when. But now, like, why?
Right.
I feel she should have something. I didn't want this white light somebody should have seen. I really don't. Because at that time, okay, my baby and we were case in jail on this and that. But it never came up about her. I said, your ass in jail, you were. It never came up. It was just accelerated after she freaked out, she found out her she freaked out, whatever. And she was talking about your physical stuff. So I had to go say, my God. I was like, I'm not staying with me, don't be my whole race. So I had to go.
Yes.
So I was staying there with my grandmother. And it was just, and I guess that's when he got close. So I haven't been with one maybe since he won laundry.
Yeah.
Holding the hand out much.
You know? Dad mentioned that he was like, he came home for 11 years. He's like, he was told that grandma was his girlfriend. And then that, like, he thought that little girl was like you and Tony was grandma's kids. And then he found out that was the case. That it was opposite of that. You know, he had that gut reaction. What if this is what you got from here? But he didn't stop.
I'll be the same age.
Entering, you know.
Wait a minute.
He said Tony was like 7. Yeah, he said Tony was 7. Tony was 7 years older than me. How old is Tony?
You said Tony's 7 years older than you is.
No, your dad's on the years old than me. Lost 13 years, well, 5 years older than me. So it was like 18, and I was 13. So it was 5 years older than me. So,
Yeah, so both of them. But
you know,
both of them.
I'm fine. But you know what it is? It had me. And honestly, on the cool, they are all y'all both beautiful.
Yeah.
Because I took everything that they made to me and I stopped board on my bag and I took it with me to where, okay, I know it's when I see it.
Yeah.
It's been done to me. I know I've been in a long relationship since I was 13 years old. I know when I see it.
Yeah.
So it's, now it's,
I don't know, man.
now that y'all treating me, y'all treating me some I deal with it.
So that's another episode of the Healing Series. Thank you for joining me. We're gonna have more talks like this. I feel like this is a
Got a lot to go on.
yeah.
I just spoke away. That ain't scratching the surface.
It ain't scratch the surface. So we're gonna definitely have more conversations. I'm glad that you are open to have this conversation. I hope it didn't.
It's my life. It happened. I can't change it.
We will. Somebody told me my life should be good. I think your life should be good.
When I tell y'all there's so much, I don't think it's enough episodes. You have to have your own ones. I would love to appear because I think that'd be very good for me. I've never been able to unpeel, just peel away things. And this, I'm very glad that you have me on here reading today because y'all gotta hear this baby. Yeah, I'm still alive.
Yeah. So we all. With that, we're gonna end this episode. If you have not joined our community, make sure you go and join our community with Discord. You can join our Patreon community as well. Follow us and share this video on all social media platforms. Come and just show love. Communicate with us.
Yeah,
If there's something you go
I promise you.
for sure. If you have any questions about my mom's life, go ahead and reach out to me. Go ahead and reach out to us, and I'll share it with her, and we'll talk about it on our next episode. But this is going to be a series, guys. I didn't know it was going to be. It's a lot, so we're going to dive into it, and we're going to really have a beautiful conversation. So thank y'all for tuning in to 15 Minutes with Dan. Y'all take care. Love, peace, chick, peace out.
Chick Grease.
Yeah, Rush Street, chick, peace. That's it.